Shin Megami Tensei V Vengeance follows in the typical Atlus footsteps of a massive overhaul release a couple of years after the original title's release. SMT V was originally a Switch exclusive, and a very good one at that, boasting some serious atmosphere and a turn-based combat system that is probably the hardest I have ever played. But it's no secret that the Switch struggles with some games, and SMT V was unfortunately a prime example of this. I put something like 15 hours into it in 2021, but fell off because of the poor performance, which is surprising considering that frame rate isn't overly important in turn-based games, but nonetheless, it ruined my experience. But now, with SMT V Vengeance releasing on all platforms, we can assume it'll run at a smooth 60 FPS on the current gen of consoles and PCs, but what about us handheld gamers? Can we finally take SMT on the go and run it at an acceptable frame rate? Well, I sat down with the game on my trusty Steam Deck to find out. Firstly, thanks to Atlus for giving us the code, but do note I'm playing the game on the original Steam Deck at 720p, but the footage is stretched out to 1920 by 1080 for the video. So of course the resolution will look significantly better on the handheld screen. Going into this, I expected to have no issues playing this at 30 or 40 FPS, and of course it can run perfectly at these frame rates. I was skeptical for 60 FPS, but what I found made me very happy. As you can see from the gameplay, it runs at a near constant 60 FPS, and I only noticed a handful of dips below 60, which I'm pleased with. On the Switch, the frame rate would dip when using the particle effect heavy spells and when breaking objects in the overworld, but here it stayed almost locked at 60 FPS. Now the game originally was one of the better looking games on the Nintendo Switch and oozed atmosphere through its audio-visual presentation, and it's no different on the deck. Unfortunately, I don't have the OLED deck, so I can't compare the colours and things like that, but it's still quite a looker on the admittedly weaker screen of the deck. Overall, after a couple of hours, I'm loving my experience with SMT V Vengeance on the deck. I'm delighted to be able to properly enjoy this game to the full extent, and I'm hopefully going to have a great time beating it in the coming weeks, if I can manage to find 60 plus hours to sink into the game. Now before we go, I'll leave you with some longer gameplay sections to fully show off how the game looks during gameplay and combat. We have a full review on the channel, so check that out if you're interested in picking this up, and I appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.